What's up? What's up, Mike? Joe, what's going on, man? I'm trying to get set up here. Jones, we're doing this one kind of on the fly, so I got to get my charger real quick. What's up, everyone? Let's cook something up for tonight. Crazy, crazy, crazy Sunday. Oh, Joe, I'm not a New Orleans fan. I just felt like rocking my Dalton Hilliard. I got this from a golf outing, so I just felt, hey, what the hell? So I could care less about the Saints. I was on the Pats actually a little bit. Mike's in the house. We'll wait for a few more people to get in here. Jason, what's going on, man? No, I love the live betting thing. I thought we'd just do a cool little, tip a couple back and get ready for this game tonight. Maybe cook something up. I'm going to let the Discord know that we're live. Let me share this out here. Ralph, what's going on, man? Get those thumbs up. Let's get it going. I should go get my Patrick Mahomes. Actually, hold on one second. We are back. What's up, Critter? Travis in the house. Jason. Dub City. Ed, what's going on? Oh, you heard that? Could you guys hear the piss? For real? That's what's up. Yeah, man, it's been a hey, when you're a Browns fan, there is a lot of piss going on. Joe, what's going on, guys? Put those thumbs up. We only got 5 thumbs. If you can hit the hype up button, whatever you got to do, just double tap your screen. There's only 5 people that are doing it right now. Michael thinks Mahomes is going down tonight. Well, we're going to pull it up. We're going to cook something up. I've been on a little bit of a streak here. College football yesterday. Unfortunately, I ended up betting something late, chasing, and I ended up kind of just hitting something, but Utah State let me down. That was the worst. That was the absolute bloody worst. Going to bed, those midnight kickoffs, can't do that out there in Hawaii. And, we kind of had a tough one there, I'm not going to lie. So it is what it is. But we had a great day in the NFL thus far. I don't have my sheet up in front of me, but I believe on the NFL picks that I did give out, if I can find it somewhere on earth. Yeah, I needed a couple more yards. I had a couple really nice opportunities today. If the woulda, coulda, shouldas, but if Rashad White had a little more receiving going on out of the backfield, and if Puka Nacua scored a touchdown, we could have had a very substantial, like a 5-figure day. So yeah, Ed, that's the go-to, man. That is the absolute go-to. I think I've bet Patrick Mahomes over 4.5 rushing yards every single Chiefs game, and I think damn near 4-1 on that. I might not be correct on that, but that's kind of where I think it's at. But yeah, just looking at my sheet with the best bets, we got 5, 6, 6-1. We missed the Darnold interception, but 6-1, couple plus money sprinkled. We hit. I'm sorry. 5-2. Ferguson did not go over his receiving yards. I kind of gave up on that one when he had 40. But Brissett rushed cash. Let's see if that works. All right, are we back? Are we back? Yeah, I think we're back. All right. Here we go, guys. We are back. Sorry about that, everyone. We got disconnected. Cheers. Leading up till kickoff. Should I get the patty rolling? What do you think? All right. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. I switched from my Wi-Fi from my cellular to the Wi-Fi, so we did lose you for a second. But as I said, this is kind of where we see it, guys. The Vegas needs Kansas City. I'm on Kansas City minus 2.5 off of a loss, 2-3 ATS. We've seen this play out before. I think Spagnuolo and company will be absolutely firing at Goff. He's one of those. He used to be the opposite, right? He used to be the worst quarterback under pressure, and we saw that with the Rams against New England in the Super Bowl. Tables have turned. He's now pretty much the best quarterback in the NFL under pressure. All right, that might be better. Are we good? Can you hear me, guys? I apologize if the volume's bad. I got it all hooked up to chargers and stuff. Is the volume good? Can you guys hear me? Okay, cool. Yeah, so I'm looking at, first and foremost, if we're going to build something out here, we're going to be going Kansas City. This is kind of where I go Patrick Mahomes all day rushing. If you want to go the 4+, it gets a little juicy. All we're trying to do here in these same game parlays is cook something up, 5 to 10. 5 to plus 500 to plus 1,000. I don't really try to go higher than plus 1,200 unless I have a very good confidence, or if I'm up big, I might take a risk. But these are for fun. These are just, these are losing propositions. We don't plan to win money, but it does happen. And I kind of like to go pretty much 2 out of every 5. If I can basically come close to 10xing my money, it's profitable. Okay. Patrick Mahomes, I'm just going to read some off. You guys fire it up in the chat. I can read your guys' comments as I go, but we got to get going. The Patrick Mahomes longest rush, okay, that's where you could find 12.5. He has hit this in 3 of his last 5. I think that's kind of, fruitful. I think that will be kind of where we look for Mahomes to kind of do well. I also, you guys know me, I like quarterback rushing attempts, and this is a primetime opportunity. If the Chiefs do come out ahead, halftime kneels, full game kneels, Mahomes has had in the last 10 games, he's hit over this 4.5. 7 out of 10 times. This season, it's cashed 4 of the 5 times. I bet it every game this season. It's profited. That's just where I'm at. So anything you guys do from a parlay standpoint, what have you, you have to, in my opinion, kick that one off with the over 4.5 rushing attempts. If you want to get a little juicy, I don't ever lay more than minus 220 usually for a parlay leg. Minus 205 on DraftKings is a over 3.5 for his rushing attempts. I don't mind that. A lot of people are kind of banking on Patrick Mahomes' interception. I don't think it's going to be that way. That's just my 2 cents. So that's kind of where I stack up with that. And yeah, I do have Preston, I do not have a play, but it's tough because I'm a baseball bettor, and yeah, it's the playoffs, but here's the deal. If Toronto was playing Seattle at home and they were minus 160 at home in the regular season, I wouldn't be touching it. It's not bettable, but because this is the ALCS, everybody feels inclined to lay $1.60 on Toronto. I can see it. I think that's the correct side. I'm on Toronto. From a betting standpoint, at $1.60, that's a pass for me unless you just crave some action tonight. That's just my 2 cents. I do think we get runs, and the usual suspects will do well in this spot. Pretty much the guys that have been hot will continue to stay hot. So I'm going to try to get this done by 9 o'clock. Yeah, and Preston, if you like the Mariners, bet the Mariners. I don't have any problem with that. It's a plus money proposition. Why not? But if this number was anywhere minus 130 or below, I would be pretty much multiple on the Blue Jays, and it wouldn't be a play. It wouldn't be a play for me on the other side, conversely. Some bad news. Fred Warner is out for the season. Just got that breaking news. I'm sure you guys did as well. So that's a big blow for the 49ers. But let's look into something that we want to talk about, touchdowns, right? Leave a comment right now. Which touchdown chat are you guys backing? Couple things about Detroit that I do kind of take some credence to. I talked about it earlier in my video. Not the best against defending the tight end. Would not shock me if Kelsey or Gray found the end zone. Kind of how I see that touchdown world playing out. I don't want to get involved with the Detroit running backs too much. I don't want to pick a side who's going to score between Gibbs. Gibbs is over his -1, about that -130, -140. You could look into Laporta, though, for the Lions at +260. Very, very profitable, okay? I think that's a great proposition in the touchdown department. The only problem is the Kansas City Chiefs allow the fewest touchdowns to tight ends. So they guard the department very, very well. So I'm going to stay away from that. If you did want to back a Chiefs tight end, I don't mind it in the touchdown world. One guy that's kind of sneaky for me, Jamison Williams has not caught a touchdown in the last 3 games. I do think that the value lies with Kareem Hunt at almost $1.50, $1.60. That's where I would go in that world. If we were going to pick a running back, I'm all about Kareem Hunt. I like all the Chiefs, to be honest. I pretty much, what I do with these primetime games, and pretty much every game, but primetimes, I just hone in and try to give you guys a specific way that this game will play out. I think it's going to be not a shootout. I think it will lend towards the under. This is too high of a total for me. I think that we will get a very conservative effort for the Chiefs to run clock. I think they will come out very deliberate to kind of move the chains early on. They'll take their shots. They'll strike when they need to be. They're going to try to stay away from third down. Mahomes will be mobile, but I think we will get a very steady dose of Hunt and Pacheco as the defensive line allows. Okay, if the front's holding up, they can't move the football. then yeah, we're going to see Patty being, chicken with his head cut off and running around for his life trying to throw the ball and get creative, okay? And that's kind of where I'm at, okay? I really, 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 really love this spot for the Chiefs. So if you guys want to fade me, great. I'm kind of in an interesting perspective because I took the Lions up in a teaser, and I also have Chiefs money line left. And pretty much if the Chiefs, it's a couple $1,000 decision for me if the Chiefs win by less than 10 points. Okay, so that's what I'm rooting for personally. What I'm doing for you guys right here, I'm going to keep it separate and just give you my honest opinion if I didn't have any scratch on the game. One bet that I have been kind of streaking on within the Lions, Jared Goff, okay, it's just waiting to happen. Almost 20-1 for an anytime touchdown. He's going to get a sneak, okay? I know they devote a lot of their goal line attention to the running backs, but I think that we've seen it twice this year thus far, okay? The market has caught up to it. It's minus 110 for over 1.5. Michael, yeah, that's a whole different story though against Jacksonville. That's a whole bunch of other stuff. And that's kind of why I even like this game a little bit more because of that loss to Jacksonville. Everybody's just looking at the numbers. Oh, Chiefs are 2-3 ATS, yada yada yada. Chiefs at home, Arrowhead off a loss, prime time, under 3 points. This is Chiefs all the way. That's just where I'm at. If the Lions win by 10, I'll tip my cap. We'll move on. We'll live the bet another day. But if you had this is just right there in front of us. I've been down this road a lot of times. It just, for me, it's Chiefs. It's Chiefs. Okay. I could be wrong. I'm not a genius. Something though I do like outside of the quarterback, obviously Mahomes' rushing attempts. Something outside of the rushing attempts for him. Okay, I do want to get into this before. Like I said, I want to cook something up before 8 o'clock. But what I'm leaning towards right now is going to be Mahomes' rushing yards, and the one guy in specific that I do love in this game. This is Tyquan Thornton. Okay, we talked about this earlier on the channel. I'm a big fan of it. The number has moved, so we're going to get the worst of it. I don't really rush into doing this because if we are going to do this, you get the boost. So if I'm getting a 20% boost, I don't really care if I miss out on some juice versus betting it early. So closing line value, I'm an in-person bettor. I put all my paper tickets in, but there are some cases like this for fun. But Tyquan Thornton, okay, I'm going to him tonight. The Lions give up a lot of receiving yards to opposing wide receivers. This is kind of my go-to, one of my best bets on the day. We're going to get into Tyquan Thornton. We're going to go over. He has had a very 14% target share offensively. Okay, well, Michael, to your point, Vegas needs the Chiefs. They have a huge handle on the Lions, okay? So if you're into that narrative, this is what people fail to realize. This isn't like, Taylor Swift, let's shape the Super Bowl kind of deal. If the Lions cover or win this game, Vegas loses money on the game, okay? So that's another reason why I'm on the Chiefs as well. But Tyquan Thornton, that's my guy for this game. It's too low. Anything you can get under 25 yards. And if you wanted to kind of go crazy and potentially even ladder him up to about 80 yards, I don't see any harm in that. If it is, not a full unit, obviously you would ladder with a percentage. But that's kind of where I'm at. I do like Tyquan Thornton. And the best number available right now, okay, ESPN bet is minus 210 for 20 yards. But if you wanted to lay, I believe it's 24.5, okay? 24.5 minus 138 pretty much across the board. So that's kind of be one of my favorite plays is taking Tyquan Thornton to have 25 yards, okay? That will be a bet I'm making. That will be in my parlay. And, a lot of people are looking at Worthy. He has played well. He is banged up. He's playing hurt. He's not injured. He's not going to miss this game. He did get kind of hampered last game, but he came back into action. And right now you can find his receptions. The first 5 games, all the games this year, he's had 6, 8, missed a game, 5 and 6 respectively. Okay, so the total set at 5.5 at plus money. I don't necessarily mind that. Okay, you're getting plus money on him. I personally would look into the world of 4.5, but that number has climbed, way out of reach. It was at $1.20. Now it's almost $2. So this is something where I'm going to stay away from it. Okay, but I do like Xavier Worthy, and if I was going to bet him rushing and receiving, or I'm sorry, any type of receiving prop, I would take him rushing, receiving, probably 70 yards would be the number. 70 plus would be the number I settle on. Okay, so that's basically it. I just truly feel like this is a perfect spot for Kansas City. I could be wrong. If Detroit wins by 14, you guys don't want to follow me anymore. That's awesome. But if you're asking me for my opinion, it's Kansas City all the way. So those are my 3 bets thus far. Leave a comment down below. Which ones should we be adding to this? I do think Amon-Ra, I talked about a little earlier in my video. I was going to stay away from him, but the Chiefs, I think, are going to open up a lot of holes for him to settle. I think he will be kind of the go-to guy for Jared Goff. 69.5 at minus 138. He's gone over that in pretty much every game but Green Bay this year. Okay. If we want to go receptions, though, for him, it's 6.5 at minus 115. He's had 7 or more in 4 of the 5 games this year. So I'm kind of I'm always torn on receiving versus receptions. Tight ends, I kind of go to receptions over yards. Wide receivers, I kind of go receptions over yards. So it kind of flip-flops for me. But he's a little bit different of a case because I do think he will get a lot of run today. Me personally, I think Amon-Ra over 5.5 catches. It's going to be minus 200. It's a little bit outside of my jurisdiction if I am going to lay juice on a parlay leg. But I do think that he is going to be very, very live, even to catch a touchdown, okay? I know it's chalky, but I do think he has a very good chance of getting in the end zone. And I probably do favor Amon-Ra, if you wanted my honest opinion, taking that 70 yards of receiving. I do like that one quite a bit, okay? And also, if you did want to do his rushing receiving, I'm trying to find it right here, which I can't, so they might not be offering it. That's going to be a little bit tougher of a proposition. Yeah, I've heard that, Preston. I heard he is banged up a little bit. So that's another reason why I'm kind of staying away from him. I do think Bucker 2 field goals is live. You can find that right now, minus 119. He's cashed this in 3 of the 5 games this year. So I do not mind that one whatsoever. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of where I'm at. I think, this might be instead of kind of dumbing down the parlay legs, Laporta, I know that they don't give up a lot of receptions or yards, I should say, to the tight end or receptions. They are 5th in the NFL with the fewest receptions allowed to the tight end position. His number at 4.5, I don't love that. He's only eclipsed at 6 and 5, so 2 of the 5 games, 3, 4, and 3 before that. So that's kind of how I feel about that. I would actually venture into the Jameson Williams category more so if I was going to get involved. Staying away from Brock Wright, but I kind of think I got it all settled out. Juju is a very fun candidate for tonight's contest. If you wanted to go touchdown, that's a pretty decent long shot. I don't mind. The 2.5 receptions at plus money, I don't mind. 1.5, it's too much juice, almost $3. So I do like Juju a little bit. Also I do like Juju a little bit over 2.5 receptions. I don't love it, but that's just kind of how I feel about it. Not going to do any passing props. I don't like quarterback passing at all. And I'm trying to just find another reception thing to kind of maybe mix that in for a 5 leg. Let me check this out. So they will be blitzing a lot. So I do think this will kind of open up some things out of the backfield. Kansas City allows a very small margin of receptions, but to that running back position, they average 5 receptions per game. So if we were going to look into Gibbs, right now, Gibbs has been going under this. He's only had in 5 games this year, he had 10, 3, 5, 2, and 2. Okay. I think tonight's a little differently. I think we might get him at a buy low spot. If you wanted to go over 3.5 receptions on Gibbs, I don't mind that. There's not too much wiggle room. I think they will try to beat the blitz a little bit by dumping it off. And I think that he is a perfect and prime candidate for rushing and receiving. He has not eclipsed 100 yards, though, all but once this year. And that's kind of how I feel about this game. That's a big ask for me. Personally, if you can find that decently at around 90, then it's appetizing. 80 gets a little bit too juicy. So Jahmyr Gibbs, if you wanted to go 90 rushing and receiving at minus 164, DraftKings has the best number. I don't mind that, but like I said, guys, this is something where it's just right on the money, I think, with a lot of these handicaps, okay? Yeah, it's, for Jameson. I can look that up real quick. Give me a sec. Travis Kelce, he's he's stock up for me, okay? He's really much a stock up guy. It's a bad matchup against Detroit. They allow the 8th fewest receptions allowed in the NFL to tight ends, 11th in receptions, 8th in eight to the tight end position. When we go into the receiving yards, though, his number's still too low. 40 yards for Kelce, that's too low for me. That number does get a little bit more appetizing in the yardage category. If you wanted to go Kelce over 30, once again, that's going to be a very significant jump up, almost $3 in juice. So we're going to stay around that. Yeah, and that's not a bad play either, Preston. I do think if you wanted to go player props, passing, this is something where I could see this definitely happen. Jared Goff, longest completion, over 34.5. He's only hit this in 2 of the 5 games this year, but if he hits a bomb, Jameson Williams is going to be that guy. So that's kind of how I see that playing out. I'm trying to find a Lions guy, but I can't get on that. Okay, right now I'm pretty much Thornton, 25 yards, Kareem Hunt anytime touchdown, and Patrick Mahomes 4.5 rushes. Those are the 3 legs that I do like in this game. If you guys have another one, we'll try to, whoever can agree upon another one, let's get another one going. I think Amon Ra might be that guy for me. Yeah. Silk, I'm with you, man. That's 100% part of the handicap. I do have a gut feeling that Montgomery finds the end zone over Gibbs tonight. That's just my gut. I do like the Goff rushing 1.5 attempts, rush attempts as well, going over. Yeah, I keep coming back to that Gibbs over 25 receiving. That's kind of where I'm kind of stacked up at. I don't like his. Yeah. So I think that's going to be my play. Let me just look up one more thing real quick because I do like this one quite a bit. Just give me 1 second, and then I'll put together something for you guys, and I'll share it over on the Discord as well. Jameson Williams, he just cannot get a good number. He's kind of in that territory where he's unbettable from a reception standpoint. 2's too easy, so it's going to be big juice. You almost have to go longest reception for him. I do, but it's just not there for Williams. From a target, I mean, I mean, his targets outside of the game against Cleveland, he's only getting 5, 4, 3, and 1 target. So I don't really favor that. So I'm going to wrap things up though, because we are getting close to kickoff. But those are the legs I like for tonight. Like I said, I'm not going to add the Chiefs into my parlay, but I do like the Chiefs minus 2.5 tonight. I'm going to be taking. I guess you could get involved with Gibbs, but for me, it's going to be Gibbs anytime touchdown. I'm going to go Kareem Hunt anytime touchdown. I'm going to go Tyquan Thornton over 24.5, and then also Patrick Mahomes 4.5 rushing yards. Those will be my plays. There's a lot I like, but those are the 5 or 4, I should say, that I do think do cash. Those are my 4 best props for tonight. High total, so taking Hunt, taking Gibbs, a score, not a bad proposition. And that's where I'm at. So I'm going to wrap this one up, guys. Enjoy the game. Cheers. We'll see you guys all tomorrow for Monday Night Football. This was kind of an unscheduled pop-up, spur-of-the-moment way of doing this. But I thank you guys for tuning in, as always. It's been a great day. I know yesterday in college football was a little bit rough. I apologize for that. We'll be back at it. Still profitable in the year with college football, despite 1-4 on the best bets. Today brought us well over the total up units-wise for the NFL. Today was a very good day in the NFL. So hopefully you guys cash some tickets and enjoy the game. Those are my best bets. Gibbs, Hunt, touchdowns. Patrick Mahomes, 4.5 rush yards, rushing attempts, excuse me. And then Tyquan Thornton going over 24.5 yards. Those will be my four plays that I will have in a same game parlay for tonight's game. Yeah, so enjoy it. Thanks again, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Cheers.